Hi, Charlie. Thank you very much for joining us today. How are things in Houston?
Hi, Jimmy. It's good to be here. The sun is shining in Houston. Perfect weather today. And
Are
it's Friday.
things starting to warm up?
Absolutely. The weather's getting warm and it's about to get summer hot. So enjoying the relief while we have it.
So BHP is one of the largest mining companies in the world, employing over 80,000 people in 90 locations globally. And you head up the accelerator program called BHP Xplor. Can you just provide a brief overview of this program and what was the catalyst for starting it?
Sure. So I'll start with the catalyst for starting BHP Xplor. The reason behind it and the driving force is really the global energy transition. We all know the stats on how much more copper and nickel we need to have. It's multiples of what we have today in a very short amount of time. So we need to find those resources faster, and that all starts with exploration. So how do we think about exploration differently is the question that was asked. And so we looked outside of our industry, that is mining, and we looked to venture capital in our case, and looked at a way and a new business model, which is the accelerator business model, to invest in early stage companies in a way that can accelerate them. And through BHP Xplor, which is the accelerator model, what we've done is we've re-engineered it in a way that is custom fit for minerals exploration. That brings me to the overview of BHP Xplor. So BHP Xplor accelerator business model, we are looking for early stage minerals explorers, commonly known as junior explorers. And what we've built is a program that includes not only funding, but a support model and program that helps take those early stage geologic ideas and early stage businesses and accelerate them in a way that sets them up to be able to get investment, explore, and hopefully we'll get to those eventual discoveries in the very near future.
Yes, I have to admit it's a brilliant idea by BHP, and I'm surprised more mining companies are not doing the same thing. Now, will you and your team only look at private companies or public companies, or will you look at both?
We look at both private and public companies. So as we know, the financing challenge is real for this type of early stage exploration. And so we welcome in both public and private. In both years of our cohorts, we have about a split ratio of public to private. So this year we have 6 companies in the cohort, 3 are public, 3 are private.
No, you raise a very good point there because raising capital in this environment has been very challenging to say the least. So now what about jurisdictions? As we know, mining can be quite challenging at times, depending on what region or country you're in. Are there any countries or jurisdictions that you would shy away from?
Explore searches globally for the big new exploration ideas. Our only limitation is sanctioned countries, but other than that, we are open globally to ideas in all jurisdictions.
And the program is called BHP Xplor, which would imply that you only work with exploration companies, but what about more developed projects like developers?
As of now, we're in our second year and we are strictly focused on exploration opportunities at the moment. So definitely the earlier stage explorers and exploration concepts.
And maybe you can just share some of the qualities you're looking for in a company.
Sure. So last year we received over 500 applications to the Xplor program, and we assessed all of them on a criteria set that spans across a couple of different dimensions. The first of which being the technical merit of the opportunity. When we look at the geology and the concepts behind it, we're looking for the potential for scale. So what we want to see these projects turn into the eventual world-class mines that would be a part of the BHP portfolio in the future. And so the first test is, can we see the potential for scale? The second is the teams behind it, because to have a good project and to be able to explore it, you have to have the right team behind it. So we do some pretty we have a pretty rigorous selection process that includes, it starts with the application, but it ends with an interview because we want to meet the people behind the opportunities and the programs ahead to explore.
And the going through 500 applications, that must be a very laborious process. How many months does that take?
The selection process, as we call it, is definitely one of the more intense periods of the Xplor cycle, but it is deliberately built to be fast. So our application period last year ran for 7 weeks, and we had decisions made in less than 6. So we have a pretty structured system that we work all applications through that allows us to screen the applications, get to a subset that we meet with all teams virtually, and then we take a select few through interviews and get to our selection decisions pretty quick.
And when you talk about BHP scale, maybe you can quantify that for us. Are you talking about daily tonnage, or are you talking about mine life, or what exactly?
We're talking about mine life and the world-class projects that would make it into the BHP portfolio in the future.
And you made mention of the fact that you went through 500 applications, but only 6 were successful this year. And I'm surprised that it was so few. Why would that be?
So BHP Xplor is still only in our second year of the program. The first year we proved that it was a success. First, that there was a demand for what we were doing, and secondly, that we had a very high quality program that delivered value to the 7 participants we had in year 1. In year 2, we saw double the number of applications, but we held our quality standards still to pretty high levels, not only in the opportunities we brought in, but in the quality standards that we hold ourselves to be able to deliver a really high-class accelerator program. The opportunities that we brought in this year, we make a commitment to each that we see a path to a future with inside the BHP portfolio. It's not a guarantee though. So what we commit is that through our program that we deliver, that each company and project will be more likely for investment coming out than where they started. And that investment may come from BHP. It may come from the external markets, but what we wanted to make sure we could do with our small team that is BHP Xplor is still deliver a really high quality program over the course of that 6 months to live up to that commitment.
And maybe you can just expand on what services BHP will offer the successful candidates.
Sure. So over the 6 months of the BHP Xplor program, each company receives a US $500,000 grant that's issued over the course of the program. And then in addition to that, we have the program itself that is inclusive of in-person events and virtual masterclasses. We build this around the fundamentals of minerals exploration. So we say that it's like a mini MBA for minerals explorers. We have elements of technical underpinned by our mineral systems framework, operational readiness, which is focused on above ground and operational risks, and business strategy and fundamentals. All of those things come together to support these companies and their projects to accelerate them to a point that they can get the investment that they need to explore.
And if you like the progress that a company has made in 6 months, will you make a follow-up or a follow-on investment?
So the intent behind Xplor is to position all of the companies that come in for investment at the end of the program. And that investment may be from BHP, it may be from the external markets. But what we commit to them is that through our program, their companies, their projects are going to be investable at the end.
Charlie, as we wrap up, if you could give one piece of advice to a junior exploration company who has an interest in applying to the BHP Xplor program, what would it be?
My advice to the junior explorers thinking about Xplor is to think big and think differently. That's what we've done with Xplor and this new model that we've built for partnership with between BHP and the junior exploration industry. We've definitely thought different about how we can come together for future partnerships, and I ask that you do the same. Think big about your ideas, think boldly about how you explore them, and come see us at BHP Xplor.
And where can people go to find more information about the program?
Visit our website at www.bhp.com/explore.
Well, that was a great overview, and I want to thank you very much for spending time with us today.
Thanks, Jimmy. Pleasure being here.